Hello everybody and welcome to another live cook along. So hope you're all ready to cook. We're just making sure that the camera's set up, that my head's not chopped off. Just, you know, the usual technical. We're good. I've got a head. Yes. If I was that tall, would I still have a head? No. Okay. So we're good. I won't stand on my tippy toes tonight. So tonight we are going to do a chicken, pumpkin and spinach cannelloni. It is delicious. I hope you love it. We'll go through what we're using just in a little bit, just waiting for everyone to jump on. You will need your food processor, the large bowl. So we are going to be processing some of our part of our recipe tonight. So you need to make sure you've got your food processor. And then we're going to have our stainless steel bowl for the last part with the cooking of the sauce. Also make sure you've got yourself a nice sized lasagna dish so that we can pop this into, and then you're going to pop it into the oven and bake it. So you would have seen the picture on the Facebook invitation. So if you want to have a look at what it's meant to look like at the end, then obviously do that. I wasn't making two for tonight. I'll be eating it forever. And so, yeah, so make sure that you have a look at that as well. And it's a really yummy, yummy recipe to be able to do tonight. So I have got you using, in case you didn't quite understand my instructions, sometimes when you write things, it's not the same as when it's in your head. So I was talking about the lasagna sheets. So you can buy fresh lasagna sheets that are normally this big. And I've just literally cut them in half, okay, short ways. That is going to form our cannelloni tubes, which I'll show you. And there's two different ways we can do it as well. So for those that don't want as much pasta, but we'll go through that and I'll show you that as well. So Sarah is there answering your questions. So hi, Sarah. Thank you all the way from Tassie. Thank you for being there for us tonight. So Sarah will answer all of your questions as we go along tonight. I know she's working on a yummy recipe for you in a couple of weeks, which is exciting as well. It's always nice to have fresh ideas. So Sarah will be on doing that soon as well. So we'll give everyone a minute or so. What's the time? 2 minutes past. Not long, and we'll get you all on. So where are you watching from tonight? Are you cooking along live with me? I hope my instructions or my recipe all made sense. Of course, we'll post the instructions. It'll go onto the app, the recipe as well. So it's a really great first place to look is the app, so that we'll have all those recipes on there for you. So I'll just quickly go through. I'm going to start with the food processor, large bowl. I'm going to start with my spinach. Now, I did mention in the recipe that you could use frozen spinach. Absolutely. If you're using frozen spinach, still use the 250 grams. Make sure it's defrosted and squeeze as much liquid out of it as you possibly can. Tonight, I'm going to be using some fresh spinach, so it's not terribly expensive at the moment, and it is actually easier to get than it was a few weeks or months ago. So I'm going to use some fresh spinach. Great way to get rid of spinach and things in your fridge if you've got, you know, spinach to get rid of or that you need to find something to use. So I've got my spinach there as well. You will need a mixing bowl because we're going to mix everything in once we put it all together in here. So if you need a mixing bowl, grab that. But we'll get started. It's a nice quick one. You know me, I like to do nice, quick, easy recipes, ones that are easy for midweek as well. So this one's great because you can prep it all really quickly, pop it into the oven and then go and have your shower, pour your glass of wine, whatever it is that you need to do, keep working. So are we ready? So I'm going to start by popping my spinach in. Now I'm going to do the spinach by itself because, as you can imagine, it's a lot of spinach and I really want to get that spinach to be chopped up nicely. If you feel you need to, do it in, you know, start it and then fill it up again. But honestly, when I did this, I managed to get it all in and it worked beautifully. Probably won't now that we're doing this live because that's usually what happens. But hey, worked the first time. Okay, so we've gotten rid of all of that, which is fabulous. Now I'm just going to pop on my lid, poke all those bits in. Okay, like so. And I'm just going to pulse that. Are we on at the front there? I'm just going to pulse that. No, is it not on? Does it say food processor on the front? Yep. No, what's going on? Just a moment. Okay, there we go. We should be right now. Okay, so we're just going to pulse that. And you will find that the leaves will go down. Well, they did, like I said, they did last time. If we need to, we'll just give them a little bit of a encouragement down there. Easy to do. I probably got excited and didn't weigh it. Okay. It's playing with me tonight. Who managed to get theirs to work perfectly? There we go. So I like the pulse button because it sort of stops, gives everything a chance to flick around. Now we're at it. Look at that. So if you want to come in and just have a quick look, you can see where how I've actually got that spinach to be nice and small. Can you see that? So all locked in there. Smells really yummy too. So we've got that in. I'm then going to add my chicken breast. So I've just diced the chicken breast into sort of just cubes. So if you have a look there, you can see I've just diced them into sort of cubed pieces. And I'm actually also going to mince that. Now, if you wanted to buy chicken mince, you can. I find it's a lot more expensive to do it that way when it's just as easy to be able to make the mince yourself. So we're just going to pop that in, and then we're just going to give that a little bit of a pulse as well. Now, we do want it like a mince. We don't want it chunky. So we'll just give that a little bit of a pulse. So if you then have a look at it, you want it to look like, so sorry, I'm going to make you come in again. She's going to hate me. There's going to be trouble here. Okay, but if you want to come in, you can see that that's actually quite minced, which is the texture that I want. Okay, so I want it to be nice and minced in there as well. And that is our chicken. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually then going to pop the rest of these ingredients. Sorry, I'm making a bit of noise. I'm going to pop them into this bowl. Now, the reason I'm going to do that is because I've already mixed my pumpkin together. I've already, mashed my pumpkin. So that was the other thing that you needed to do. I've got my ricotta, and I just find it easier now to pop it into a bowl. We've got all that minced, and we're just going to mix it together really quickly because we don't want to turn it into soup. We still want to leave that, you know, little bit of texture in there as well. Very skillfully, because you don't want to cut the edge of your bowl. Okay, so we're just going to scrape that in there like that. And then we can set that aside. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my mashed pumpkin. So I used butternut pumpkin for this one. I find that the flavours change throughout the year as well. So, you know, if you prefer other pumpkins, then that's completely up to you. So we'll give that just a little bit of a stir. And then I'm going to add into that my ricotta. Now, you probably could, if you wanted to, do sweet potato. I think it would probably be a little bit sort of heavier to use a sweet potato. So I think pumpkin's a really good one to use and delicious and tasty. So we'll pop that ricotta in there as well. And then we're going to pop in some diced bacon. And we're also then going to pop in like that. And then we're going to pop in our crushed garlic. And then, oh, glad I got a dishwasher. To anyone that doesn't, I'm sorry. Okay, and then we're just going to give a little pinch of nutmeg, like so. So we'll just give that a really quick stir. And the great thing with this recipe is while we're then doing the next part of this and putting it into our pasta, that we can actually get our sauce on, which is a really quick, easy... see, I'm such a mess, honestly. Pop that back in there. Okay. So we're giving that a little bit of a stir, nice and combined, and then you've got that beautiful mixture of your pumpkin, your ricotta. Look at that, doesn't it? And it smells amazing. If you're a really big garlic lover, you can do, I think I said 1 clove of garlic. I'm just going to wipe my hands. But if you're a really big lover of garlic, you can do 2 cloves in the mixture and then another 2 cloves in your sauce. So we'll move on, get this going, and we'll get our sauce on really quickly. So the first thing we're going to do is chop our onion and our garlic. So I'm going to pop that in. So again, 1 or 2 cloves of garlic, I think I did say. So I'll leave that to you. And And we're going to pop that in, and we're going to give that the pulse again. The reason I love using the pulse for onion is because I find that it goes up and then has a chance to come down. If you put it on a constant speed, it tends to sort of go onto the sides, which is not what we want. So I think the pulse button helps to stop that. I'm just dropping spinach everywhere. The dogs will love it. Okay, so I'll give that a little pulse. I've got to go back to expert, don't I? I'm not on there. Okay, so let's go back to our expert mode, and we'll give that a little bit of a pulse. Are we ready? See, you'll find that it all drops back down, and we'll just do that a couple of times, just so you can see. And you want it quite fine. You don't really want huge chunks of onion in there as well. So I'm going to try really hard not to cry, so I'm not going to breathe for a bit. Well, I did this the other day and it was awful. I was just a mess, a hot mess. Okay, so we've got that down. If you want to scrape it down, oops, sorry about the noise, and give it a little bit longer, you absolutely can. So give it another little pulse. Let that drop down. Okay, beautiful. So you've got your onion, you've got your garlic, it's all chopped, ready to go, and we want to be able to fry that off. Now, take the cap off is my first tip. You don't want it to sweat, you want it to fry, okay? So the other thing that we want to do, so just pop a little bit of oil in there. The other thing you want to do is, I find, if you leave it on a constant speed, it doesn't fry. It actually kind of just mushes it a little bit, which is not what we want. So we want to actually fry that off a little bit. I printed off the instructions and they are so small I can hardly read it. And I'm going to do that for 5 minutes, and we're going to drop the speed down to, what did I say, 1A or 2A? Sorry, let me just, oh gosh, I can feel that onion in my eyes, let me tell you. We're going to put it down to 1A, and we're going to pop it up to 120 degrees. So we'll do that up to 120. Cap off, and let's get that going. So this is a really, like I said, a really good one to be able to prep and then get into the oven to be going and doing other things. Induction heating, we know that's going to start to heat really quickly. If you want to give it a scrape down throughout the process, absolutely make sure you do that. And then we're going to get ready all of our other ingredients. So we're going to cook with some passata. We're also going to add some white wine. And we're going to do some salt and pepper and some basil at the end. So we're going to pop all those things in there. So we'll let that fry off. And then we're going to start, in just a moment, we'll get ready to get this going. Now I'm going to be a clean freak and I'm going to wear gloves. So just a moment. Oh, I've got one glove. Seriously. Okay. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to wrap the cannelloni around the mixture. Okay, so if I could work out which way my glove goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to move this across the bench to give myself a little more room. So bear with me. I'll slide her over there. Has anyone got a name for their machine? So my lovely hairdresser calls hers Mike, Magimix. I think that's quite cute. She loves him. But yeah, if you've got a name for your machine, we'd love to hear that. I think the best name should get a prize. I'll get in trouble for things like that too. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside here and I'm going to grab my lasagna dish. So I actually want to pop the sauce, a layer of half of the sauce in the bottom of my dish, and then I'm going to layer my cannelloni, and then I'm going to put the rest of the sauce on. But to speed things up while you're in the cooking process, you can actually start wrapping them. So you've got two choices with wrapping. You can either do a nice layer down here and just fold so it just overlaps. Okay, so when you look at it, you're going to get tubes that are actually quite large. Now, if you like the pasta and you want to make it a bit more pasta-y, and you want to do more tubes, just roll the tubes so that they're, see that how they're overlapping more. So you can do that as well. So I'll leave it up to you as to how you want to do it, and you know which way you're going to go. If you only use half the lasagna sheets, then you can pop them into the freezer. So it just means that you'll get 2 meals out of 1 packet of lasagna. And I actually bought these from, I think I said Latina, but I actually bought these in one of those supermarkets. It's a little bit cheaper, if you know what I mean. I'm not going to say it. rhyme. No, I won't even say what it rhymes with. Okay, so we can start getting that ready. So all I'm going to do is get the mixture, and I'm actually not going to put this in the base yet because I need my sauce to be ready, but I'm absolutely going to start getting these ready. So if you have a look, we're just going to put in the mixture like that, and like I said, if you want them a little bit thicker, you can just overlap them and then flop them down like that. Now we're going to pick them back up, so you're just going to be a little bit careful as you pick them up, and that's going to be absolutely fine. How long's this one got? A minute and 30 seconds. Yeah? Oh, that's right. I can see the... No, because I've moved it now. I can't see the reflection. So we'll let this get going, and I'll add my sauce in. And meanwhile, we can just start putting our lasagna sheets together with our ingredients. So has anyone have done one similar to this? I mean, you could always feed the mixture into your hard cannelloni tubes, but this is just like the Sheets cannelloni. We'll put a little bit more in that to make it a little bit thicker, a bit less pasta. Yeah, it is definitely the Sheets cannelloni. I'm actually just going to sit them there like that, and then I'm going to fold them when I go to put them in on my sauce. I think that's going to be easier. And we'll just line them up. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to go with the thicker option, I think. And then you can just squeeze them in a little bit if you need to. So we'll just keep going with that. We must be nearly done. Now the sauce I'm going to cook for about 10 minutes, but to be honest, you could do it a bit quicker if you wanted to. And the reason that I say that is because you're going to pop it into the oven to bake as well. So that sauce will actually get quite a bit longer to bake and to sort of come together with its flavour. Have your parmesan and your tasty cheese ready as well. So we're going to pop that on the top with the last layer of the sauce. They look like tacos. You can't see them, but they look like tacos. Okay, but like I said, we'll fill them up in a minute. How are we going with that time? Must be just about done. Oh, hear that sizzle. So like I said, if you wanted to give it a little stir, can you still see me from me being over this side? Is that all right? Okay, so we've got that in. And you'll notice I find that if you leave it on 3, the onion has a different smell. It kind of smells like it has stewed or something a little bit. So you definitely want to avoid that. And we're going to add our bottle of passata like that. Oh, what you can do is this, because we don't want to waste anything. So I'm going to get my wine and I'm going to pour it into the bottle. Put the lid on, is my big tip. It'd be funny if you didn't. And then just give it a shake, and that's going to get rid of everything else in that jar. Voila. So we've cleaned it out. Okay, and then I'm going to get that back on. I feel like I've forgotten something. Onions, garlic, bottle, got everything. And at the end, I'm going to add in my basil and my salt and pepper. Now I'm going to actually set that for 10 minutes at the same temperature. So we'll go back up to 10. And I think I still left it on 1A as it cooked along. No, I put it onto 2A, but honestly 1A is fine. I'm happy with that. So we'll get that going, and then we'll get that ready to pop in just a moment. Okay. And keep adding these together. It smells really good. So you've got that beautiful garlic smell. You've got that bacon, the pumpkin. And put all of that in there. So while I'm doing this as well, there's lots of things going on out there at the moment. For those that are in Sydney and you were lucky enough to get tickets, we're doing a demonstration in David Jones in the city on Saturday, yep, which is exciting. We've got David Bitton, who is our brand ambassador, coming in to do that as well. So quite excited about that. We did one a few weeks ago that was really successful, had lots of people coming along and having a look, so we're excited by that, increasing our Magimix family. So look out for that. There's also some new releases coming. I think they might have put something on Facebook and Instagram saying that there was something coming, so that's always exciting because we always like new products as well. So keep an eye out for those. I'm going to run out of space here, aren't I? it was clever because I was kind of thinking, how can I keep going and entertain you all without boring you with my singing or my tap dancing, which I can do neither of. Okay, so let's just keep going. If you've got any questions, Sarah's there answering your questions. Please make sure if you've got them while you've got our attention, you ask anything that you need to ask. If there's anything you want to see with our cookalongs as well. So I know risotto is one that people always sort of have asked to see. We have done risotto before, but if it's something that people are really wanting to see again, I love making risotto because my favourite part about risotto is making arancini balls with the leftovers. And actually I was looking, so we've got TVSN on Sunday night, so 6:30 I think, or 7:30, I can't remember, it's either 6:30 or 7:30, have a look in the TV guide. And I'm going to do a cob loaf on that one. And I'm also going to do a risotto, but I was looking at what to do with leftover risotto because arancini balls is quite an obvious one. By the way, I've left the cap off that because I wanted that sauce to thicken a little bit too. So the risotto, and then I was looking at different things to do with risotto, and there was an Italian recipe where they turn it into flat cake, so they fry it. Oh my gosh, they looked amazing. And then they also did one where they kind of a bit like bubble and squeak, I guess. They added some corn, some eggs, some breadcrumbs. I think that was it. And then just mixed it all up with that and then fried them like almost like rissoles, like pancake, patty cake type sort of size with a salad. So I was like, we talk about, you know, different things to cook that we can then use for other meals during the week. And I think that was a really good one. So, you know, people aren't getting bored with the same thing all the time. They're getting something a little bit different. So that's bubbling away. Smells yummy. I love the smell of garlic, onion and tomatoes. So we'll let that continue. But yeah, so have a look on Sunday night if you want to get some new recipe ideas. The cob loaf I'm excited about. Last time I did that in the studio, it was gone before I could even get it in the oven to bake it. They were like, no need to bake it. This is amazing. So we'll make sure that we get that recipe up for you as well after the weekend. Oh, we're nearly there. So I'm probably going to use, oh no, I'm going to use all of my sheets. I think the other brand that I use has more sheets in it. But that's okay. We've done them wide, thick. So we'll be all good to go. Oh, it's going to be absolutely perfect, just saying. How long have we got going on our machine? No idea. Rough minutes, 6 minutes, beautiful. Nearly there. So I've got all my little tacos lined up. I'm just making a mess here, aren't I? Here you go. I could line them in here. But yeah, just because I like to just have things ready. So I don't want this to stop me. I don't want to do this first and then do this because I want this all happening and sort of coming together at the end in sync in a way. Anything that makes life easy and dinner fast. I think that we spend so much time in the kitchen, sometimes it takes less time, way less time to eat it than it actually does to do everything else that we do. So it's nice if we can sort of compact that a bit. I've got a little bit left over, but very little, but I'm just going to add to some of these. That'll be right. That one looks a bit skinny. And there we have it. I'll pop that away. So what else can I tell you? So I can tell you that we still have going the upgrade your machine offer. So the upgrade your machine offer is for those that have, say you've got a food processor and you've been watching these lives and you're thinking, okay, it's time to get a Cook Expert. You can actually trade in your food processor. Now, we don't actually take that food processor off you. Donate it to a friend. Donate it to a relative. Donate it to someone that you think will get use out of it. And we'll give you $625 off the price of a Cook Expert, which is basically giving you the Cook Expert at 30% off, which is a really good deal. But you need to rehome your food processor. Take a photo. We'd love to see. We love seeing really old machines come through that people have loved for years, and it's time for them to move on to other things like the Cook Expert. So send those in. Let your friends know as well if they're super jealous that you've got the Cook Expert and you're making all these amazing things and they want to be a part of it, then that's a great way for them to be a part of it as well. Okay, so I'm just going to up that to 2A for a little bit. Yeah, just to give it a little bit more of a stir, because I'm going to add in just a minute my basil and my salt and pepper as well. So we'll just get that stirring. I've got my lasagna dish ready. Now I find that I don't need to grease it. I actually find that by the time I put the layer of sauce on the bottom and then another layer on top, that it actually seems to not stick. But obviously, you know your cookware and whatever it is that you're using, so I'll leave that up to you. Oh, it smells delicious. Okay. I know I'm going to need that, aren't I? So yes, so anything else? The other thing I wanted to let you know is if you're watching and you're not comfortable with your machine, or you're still on the fence about the Cook Expert, I know that most of you that watch these are actually, you know, writing to your Cook Expert and are always looking for new things to do. But we do still have the one-on-one demonstrations. So if you want to jump online, Sarah, Louise are doing those at the moment. But if you want to jump online, if that starts to spit a little bit, it is, just pop your cap back on. If you want to jump on those, Sarah and Louise are actually doing those. So you're more than welcome to jump on board. Just let them know what it is that you need. So if you do have a machine and you're a little bit, you know, not sure, or we get people that just are a little bit afraid of using it and the different functions, then by all means jump on there, onto our website and jump onto that calendar, and you can actually book the date and time that suits you. So that's something that's really important. If you've got friends and family that are looking at this and are still on the fence and still really nervous, it's a great way for them to be able to get more comfortable, and to be able to see the girls using it as well. So as you know, Sarah's a fabulous cook. Louise is actually a trained chef, so it's a really great idea with her as well, because she'll probably give you some really great recipes on the way. But a really good way to get yourself really comfortable with your machine as well. So all of the cook-alongs that we do, you can always find them on YouTube. So there's lots of things to look at. We are trying to make sure we put all of the recipes up. I'll just check how long that's got. How long's it got? About a minute? Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stop it for a minute. And I'm just going to add, oh, it's bubbling. I don't want it to bubble on me. I'm just going to, in the last minute, oh, yum, this is looking delicious. I'll just give that lid a quick scrape. Smells amazing. I have to say the difference between doing the onion on a 1A or 2A setting and frying it more than just the constant stir, the smell is so different. It's just, I don't know what it is. Okay, so we're going to add our basil or basil. That was for you, Meg. And then I'm going to add my salt and pepper. So just give it a little bit of a season. As little or as much as you like. We'll pop that lid back on, let it whiz through its last minute, and we will be ready to put this together. And I might actually go back, if I can do this without looking. What do you reckon? Is that 1A now? Oh, yeah. See, I can do it. Okay, so we've got that there. We've got our parmesan and our tasty cheese to pop on top. I've said half a cup of each. If you want more than that, then go for it. I have one child that loves heaps of cheese on a lasagna and one that doesn't like so much cheese on a lasagna. Do it however it's going to suit the family. We're nearly there. I could stop and pack my dishwasher while I'm waiting, but that'd kind of be boring for you. So I think that's most things going on at the moment. I know there's noise out there about an update. Hang tight. Please don't use the one from France. We will get you it as soon as we possibly can. Lots of things with that, so just, it's nearly there. We're nearly there with that, which is really exciting. So we will get that to you. So this is just going to bubble away. We must be down to less than a minute. Less than a minute. Yep, beautiful. 50 seconds, 5 seconds, 11 seconds, 51. 15. She's trying to count it. Oh, I'm not getting it. Okay, that must be 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That for timing. Okay, let's do the following. I'm just going to push these aside like so. I'm going to get that there. I'm going to grab a ladle. which I prepared earlier. I'm going to open this. We'll just give that, again, a little scrape down. But just to keep my camera woman, girl, child alive, I'm going to get her to come and have a look at the sauce, and she's going to do it with absolute love and affection. So, but you can see now that beautiful sauce. It's got that beautiful green in there with our basil. If you like more than a lot of basil, do more than 3 tablespoons. It's completely up to you. And then we're going to scoop about half of this mixture. I need my spoon rest. I went and bought myself one and everything. Okay, so we'll scoop about half of this mixture onto the bottom. And like I said, this really, I haven't had to grease anything. It's not going to stick for me. Pop it onto the bottom, just enough so that you've covered at least the whole entire bottom. Are you ready? So now we're going to do this. And I'm just going to flip that over so that it doesn't open on me while it's cooking. Should have left the glove on. It's okay. Down. Okay. But you can see how much easier is this for cannelloni than it is to actually have to stand there with a piping bag and stuff every little hard tube. This is just such a good way to do it. And we can just see how I can just, I don't know whether you can see that. Can you see how I've just sort of pushed those together a little bit if we're running out of room, which we love. We're nearly there. We'll pop another one in here, pop another one down the side, and then we'll pop another one. That didn't want to work at the end here. See, get them all in, and there we go. Sorry, I need paper towel again. Nothing like getting messy. Okay, and then we're just going to pour the rest of this beautiful sauce without getting it all over ourselves. Over the top, give that a scrape. Totally not going to be scraping it with that. That ain't going to work. Okay. So, sorry, I'm not very good at the camera thing, like trying to, but you know what I'm doing. Okay. So we'll scrape all of that in like that. I'm going to pop that back on there. We'll just smother that all over so it gets a beautiful even layer across and down the sides. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. I forgot to turn my oven on. It means I'm going to have to wait longer now. Okay, done. And then we're going to pop on our tasty. Our parmesan. And I hope the neighbours don't start knocking because it's not going to be cooked for a while because I've got to get the oven on. But there it is. Come and have a look at this. It's our beautiful chicken, pumpkin, spinach cannelloni. Looks amazing, smells amazing. It is going to taste amazing. This is going to feed quite a number of people as well. So we've got that beautiful cannelloni style in there with those beautiful fresh lasagna sheets. It is a winner. It's a household favourite. I hope you love it, and we'll see you again really soon. Bye for now.